Happy Friday, Viking fans. It's time to talk about the 7 keys to a Vikings victory against the Washington Commanders this Sunday. Up next in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Now make sure you hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. That way, it tells YouTube to push my show, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Let's get started talking about the 7 keys to a Vikings victory. Let's do it. All right. The first thing, the big elephant in the room, this is the first time Cousins is going back to Washington to play against his old team, even though they've gone through two name changes since then. They were the Washington football team, and now they're the Washington Commanders. When he played them, they were still the Redskins. Cousins rises up to the occasion. That means he doesn't have to be outstanding. He just has to rise up, be the quarterback he's capable of, be the quarterback he's been most of these games so far. If he was the quarterback who played last week, I would be happy with that. I am rooting for him to ball out like 350 and 4 touchdowns. That would be nice. But hey, I'd be satisfied if he just plays good and we pull out a victory on the road. And then we go and face Buffalo with riding a 6-game winning streak. That is what I'm hoping for this game. Cousins, just rise up. I want you yelling, "Hey, you like that?" I know his teammates will. I've already heard it. Heard KOC say, "Yes, I like that," this last week while he was mic'd up, or the microphones were on him. So let's go. Cousins, rise up to the occasion against your old team. Let's go, Skull Vikings. Now, this one, the only reason I put this one on here is because of what DeAndre Hopkins did to us last week. He had a field day. Now, I think he's a better receiver than Terry McLaurin, but Scary Terry had like 118 yards last week. That could be a problem. If he goes to Dancer's side all day long, and Dancer has just the same problem he had with DeAndre Hopkins, then we're in for a little bit of a long day on defense. But if we can hold this guy, 70 yards, we're going to have just a field day. I see potential blowout. But Terry McLaurin is a good receiver. He's a good guy. He's a good player. I would want him on our team. He's that kind of he's not a special outstanding player, but he's a guy you want on your team. And he's a team player, man. And I like him, and he is talented. He could be a problem. Just let's limit his yards, limit him getting touchdowns, keep him contained. Hopefully he goes to Peterson's side quite a bit, because I think Peterson's just riding high right now. Dancer had a little bit of a rough week last week. Let's go. Let's hold this guy to 60, 70 yards, get the dub, go home. Now, here's one where it's coaching, I think. Do we have the personnel to block this really good defensive line that they got? They're a very effective defensive line. And I think if we match up properly, double team the right guys in the right situations, get in their way, don't let them, split the gap like they did this last week. And I think we will be able to move the ball, not at will, not as good as we did last week, but I think we will be effective, and that's all I want. I want to be effective in the run game this week. And if our blocking scheme holds up, if we're not tripping each other like what happened to Ed Ingram and Bradbury, then twice back to back, I want this to go better. I think this will go better. All we had to do is, coach these guys up, make sure they're in the right spots, right places, blocking the right guys, and I think will be more effective. I don't know necessarily that we're going to dominate the line of scrimmage on offense, but I think we can match up. We just need to have the right blocking scheme and have it coached well. Everybody understand their assignment. Nobody just forgetting to block somebody or letting somebody through at will, or hey, get in front of them and don't let them split the gap like they did last week or what they're capable of. They get off the ball. So our O-line blocking scheme is an important key to this game. I think let's use the new toy we got. It's another key to the car here. This is use Hawkinson in the run game and the pass game. I had a listener say that, doesn't he think he's going to get 20 snaps? I think we underestimate his ability, Hawkinson, to memorize 20 plays. He himself said the same thing. They're all the same plays, all the same schemes, and you just got to learn the terminology. And if you go in there and say, hey, Hawkinson, we're going to install these 20 plays for you, 10 of them run plays, let's go. I think he can handle it. I think he's an inline blocker. He's all around tight end. There's very few of them in the league. He does both well, and he's probably the biggest, one of the biggest yak yardage guys after the ball in the game today. So use TJ Hawkinson out of the gate. Let's do it. Now, this one is just go after it like we did the last two games. Get after that quarterback. We are being more effective. In fact, I think we've been disguising our rush, our rush packages. I think we've been doing a good job of that, especially, the last game for sure. We've been disguising them very well. And, with Zadarius Smith just having a field day now, player of the month, man, let's go, man. Let's go. I think it was the 16th or 17th time that's happened for Viking, and something like under 10, because some people did it twice, that has gotten player of the month. That's in rarefied air. Zadarius Smith's been outstanding. I would love to see Daniil Hunter. I see a little too much dancing around, him playing like a contain type of thing and not going after the quarterback. I just think he's being misused. That has not changed in my opinion. I think we're playing a few more guys. I see Asamoah getting in there, playing a spy. I don't necessarily think he has to do that against Taylor Heineke. He is mobile, though. But, hey, get after this guy. He'll go down. He's a good backup quarterback. He's not starter material in this league. He's low-end starter. Very low-end starter. Let's get after him. It's our game to win, and it's going to be centered around us not letting Tyler Heineke get comfortable in the pocket. And the last game, I think this almost cost us the game, is penalties. We got to get back to 2-3, no more than 5, no more than 4 penalties a game, and we'll be outstanding. We'll win this game handily. Just we're just a little, it's not like we're false starting all the time. We're not going off sides all the time. It's just these nagging penalties. Getting a couple on special teams. Let's stop that. Let's go. Get back to no penalties. Our field position's been great. You cannot give them better field position. And finally, man, take our shots. We were one of the worst down the field teams in the league, and we got all these weapons. And that coincides with use Hawkinson, because that will drop the safeties. That will get rid of the single high. I think it was Randy Moss. Belichick had him for 1 year, and he says he learned so much from Randy Moss. Is just basically, hey, we're not going to see single high with me, because we'll have, we're going to have, 2 high safeties all the time. So eat up that middle, and that's what they did. They were just the biggest offensive team of the league that year, and in history. And he got 22 touchdowns. He found a way, man. Now, one of the ways is get Heineke. They use their tight ends in Belichick's, offense back in the day. Use Heineke, Yeah, Hawkinson. I said Heineke. Use Hawkinson, man. Get him up the middle. Get him up the seam. Get those safeties to come down. They're going to start playing up, and we're going to be able to take advantage of that with KJ Osborne, Thielen, Jefferson. Take our shots, and it coincides with use Hawkinson out of the gate. That's it for today, guys. Skol Vikings. This is Skol World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skol World. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think, what your keys to the game are. I appreciate it. Thank you. See you next time. Cue the music. Thank you, Viking fans, for listening. Make sure you catch my other episodes. Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Skol Vikes.